All right, welcome to the Get Hoptimized podcast. I am Chris, your host, and today we are going to dive into the world of on-site guest experience. We've talked to many breweries and bars around the country, and a common challenge is getting guests to interact with your brand and share content from their experiences. We all know that reviews, social engagement, and digital word of mouth marketing are extremely important. We don't need to beat that dead horse. We know that stuff is valuable. So let's talk about tactics and technology that can help. Our guest today, Richard Carnegie, is here with us. His company, BuzzyBooth, they specialize in guest interactions and turning them into brand touchpoints. They've helped tons of businesses generate over 80 million brand impressions, 25 million new contacts, and over 250,000 new reviews. Richard, welcome to the show. What's up, dude?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Again, my name is Richard. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing for BuzzyBooth, and I love this company. You mentioned it was my company. I wish it was my company. It's a really good creation that's marketing in the form of a selfie kiosk. So I like to say BuzzyBooth we're not a photo booth company. Um, we're a marketing software company that the user experience begins with taking a photo because obviously everybody likes taking photos these days.
Yeah, absolutely. And I knew you worked there. I wasn't sure exactly the interaction and where you sat in the company hierarchy, but you are a big advocate of Buzzy Booth. We met at CBC this year in
Mhm.
Indianapolis, and when I saw this thing there, I was like, "This is really cool." And then you started talking about the tech stack that is involved with it, with like the emails that go out and the facilitation of reviews and all these things. It's like, man, this is really neat. I want to pick your brain about why this is so important and how Buzzy Booth works and as a support mechanism. Everything you do, your whole tech stack is a support mechanism for facilitating this stuff. And we're going to get into all that today. I'm
Okay,
excited for it.
good.
But first, let's learn a little about you, Richard. Tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe how you got
Sure,
into this world, and we'll start there.
sure. I started with tech companies in 2016 in marketing, sales for marketing in marketing departments. Then I worked for a full service digital marketing agency prior to here, which was, your typical Google, Facebook, Instagram ads, as well as, SEO and optimization, website building. I've been in sales forever, since the late 90s. But as far as the technology and marketing world, almost 10 years, 9 years now. Um, I love marketing because I love helping businesses grow. It's really cool in my own customers when I can see the impact that it's having. It's super fulfilling. So I feel like I found my niche. I used to sell widgets, actually in the ATV industry, power sports. I did that for a very long time, but it wasn't really helping businesses. This is a complete shift, and it's actually really fulfilling to see that.
Yeah, that's why I do it too, man. You're speaking my language. It's so
Right.
fulfilling to, work with business owners, business leadership of all sizes, and be like, hey, we made an impact. We helped you grow so that you could, hire more employees and employ more people and benefit people's lives literally with certain products and services that are out there. And you guys are doing that, and it sounds like you're on a fulfilling path with this
Yeah.
stuff. So I didn't realize you had a marketing background on stuff. That's also rad. So
Yeah.
it is probably really easy for you to talk the talk when it comes to how Buzzy Booth interacts with all these different marketing mechanisms, right?
Yeah. And I think that the biggest thing that you kind of touched on is, with the user experience, people are taking selfies in businesses anyway. So some of the questions that I get from people that I'm talking to is, well, they can just do it on their phone, right? They are doing it on their phone. However, it's shocking how much usage it gets when it's there. They say, well, why would people use it? It's literally because it's there. It sounds strange, but they will switch from their phone to that simply because it's there.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
different, it's like everybody's got a phone. That's what you're used to. But when you have like, this kind of photo booth kind of setup, especially with some of these folks that are doing cool backgrounds and different things, it's like an experience. And maybe before we go too far down this road, help us
sure.
understand what is Buzzy Booth and
Yeah.
maybe some of the connected systems with it.
Yeah. I said this at the beginning. We're not really a photo booth company. So there's photo booth companies that have dozens of different models and some light up, and most of them you pay for. So what's unique about BuzzyBooth is that it's free. So it simply gets high usage because it's free. Um, the the three main touch points are uh, taking branded photos, so your logo's on them. Anything you want is on them. Actually, we have people that put on, karaoke night frame and a trivia night frame. Encouraging those shares, we do on screen, so you can have promotions like share and tag us for a chance to win X. And so it's going to encourage those social shares. They're going to be branded, even if they forget to tag you. They're going to be branded. So that's one. Two is that it's building an opt-in list, and it builds it automatically. It's an auto opt-in and a manual opt-out. So you build opt-ins really quickly, mostly phone numbers, which is great. And with the system, you can send campaigns to their phones, which is really great for engagement versus maybe seeing it on social media. You're sending it directly to their phones. And then the third thing is building positive reviews on Google, Yelp, and TripAdvisor. So those are the three pillars I like to say as a good overview of what it does, aside from obviously the fun that you're adding to the experience.
Yeah, so it's like if I'm understanding correctly here, I'm gonna regurgitate this. You tell me if I get it wrong. Is it's one part photo booth experience, and to kind of paint this picture for folks, I encourage you to go check out the website and some of the screenshots and stuff like that we're going to share on our blog. But it's like this kind of little kiosk that's got the camera and like a touch screen on it, so people can take kind of photo booth esque photos. But then they have an opt-in system right on the touchscreen. So people are
Yeah,
opting in for your own list. And then there's automations and messaging that support driving reviews and all sorts of stuff from there. So it really is three parts. And like you said, it's more than a photo booth. And it's free. So people can just do this stuff right there. They don't have to pay like 50 cents or a buck or whatever to, or $5 now. I'm seeing these things in the mall where you're like, damn, $5 to take
right.
like
When
three
I could
photos.
when I could take it with my phone. See, that's the
Yeah.
thing. They can take it with their phone for free. So
Yep. So let's jump into some of the strategy components with this stuff. So, in your opinion, I'm kind of curious your thoughts. Like, why is the on-site guest experience so important for the overall marketing strategy for a tap room or a bar or a restaurant or whatnot, right? Because we're tapping into this with this photo booth. It's that
right.
experience they're having on site. Why does that matter for a business?
Yeah. Um, it's getting people to stay longer, obviously drink more, bring their friends that may not have done it. That's why so many places are adding, arcade games, pool tables, claw machines, photo kiosks, things like that, because it's keeping them engaged and giving it a hot spot. It's not, just sitting at the bar anymore. It's meandering around. It's staying for potentially hours. Same with trivia night, game night. It's I do come across businesses that aren't doing stuff like that, but they almost always say, "Yeah, you know what? We've been wanting to start a trivia night. We're planning on doing that." And those are all ways of keeping the guests fully entertained and keeping them there. Um, I talked to some places that have food takeout. We would much rather them stay there, obviously, than take food out if you're offering, bar snacks and things like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, that sort of gamified uh, strategy of keeping people there is great. Happy hour is happy hour, but there
Yeah.
are obviously other things that you can do to keep them there longer.
Yeah. And to add on to that, I'll say that if you create a good experience, then people want to talk about it and they want to tell their friends about it. And your system makes that easy for them to do. It's like, yeah, I had this experience and literally I'm taking a photo and can push that out to my phone and get the photos or share it on social or whatever the case is. And you're reducing the friction between experience and sharing that experience.
Right,
And I think
right.
that's the other big benefit here is the sharing of that positive experience, which is good for marketing overall.
Yeah, and obviously capturing a memory that could be specific to a holiday or something like that. Even with the theme nights that are common, having, the with the admin panel, the owner or the GM being able to put on that frame that says, now we have Sunday brunch, for example. that when that gets shared out, or the friends and family of the people that are seeing it can't miss it. It's right on the frame. It doesn't need to be a campaign. It's now introducing Sunday brunch, you know. It doesn't need to be even that day. If you want to promote something at any time, you can do it through social sharing, and that's going to have a bigger, you know, more impressions, a bigger reach than something that you have to pay for or hope that they see, you know, organically.
And a bigger impact, right? Like even when we pay for ads, we know how much reach we're getting. We know the metrics on engagement and those type of things, but it's like we have to put that in a separate bucket because it's ad engagements and ad reach. And that's a different kind of piece of content than your friend sharing something
Oh yeah.
and you seeing it from your friend. And your point about like the frames and some of the little add-ons or whatever on these images makes me think about literally the conversations I've had over the last 2 or 3 weeks with breweries that are like, we want to enhance our trivia night. And the thing we always say is like, you gotta take content. Like we have to share what a good experience this is
Right.
on the internet. And like the challenge is that these guys are running around, they're managed the tap room, they don't have time to go around and take photos. They're not hiring like a full-time social media person to be there every single
Almost
day,
never.
you know,
Yeah.
but if you have this system that's like, hey, we're doing a trivia night, we got a cool skin or something like that for trivia. Now we're facilitating the shares of real content from real guests and theming it towards now we've got a mechanism to support trivia night with content, which is like the light bulbs went off for me right there.
Yeah. And even with the social shares, you know, before social media was what is the most effective form of advertising? It's word of mouth. It's always been word of mouth, and it's
Yeah.
free. So, you know, if somebody posts something about that, they're clearly having a good time on the photo, uh, the caption is there, the comments can be there. Oh, I've been meaning to check out this tap room or whatever, or yeah, that is amazing, and people can, you know, affirm that it's a great place, and then other people can see that. So it's electronic word of mouth, and it definitely has more impact than an ad. It's you know, it's
Yep.
powerful.
100%. And it's kind of awkward to ask for these things from your guests. Like, hey, do you mind sharing this photo? Like
Well,
imagine having that
actually,
conversation, right, with somebody, but it's easy with the technology, it's lower barriers, right?
yeah, yeah, and some of the fun things that some of my customers are doing is it's some sort of incentive that is going to get get them excited. Like it could be, I have somebody that does free fries. Share and tag us for a chance to win free fries for a year. I thought that was brilliant because they're gonna, if they come in for free fries, they're obviously spending money on other things. But it's also intriguing. But you can do fun things like it could be best kiss for Valentine's Day, something like that. It could be best video testimonial where they actually say something about the beer or the burger or something like that, and then it's fun for people, you know. And then if you reshare their photo or their video or their boomerang or whatever, this is the person who won. Come in, snap a pic for your chance to win next week or next month or something like that. And it's fun. It's engaging on social media. So it's, you know, everybody wants their 15 minutes of fame. So to win something, be reshared, all of that type of stuff can be really fun.
Absolutely. Another thing I think of with this is, we've run these kind of campaigns, and I'll admit, the misses on this is, we want to gamify social shares and be like, oh yeah, you come in, you take a photo, you share it on social media, and you're going to be entered to win blank or whatever. And we're trying to
Mhm.
do a share this photo with, our mascot or our wall or something like that. And like almost always these campaigns fall flat because it's difficult to get people to do this thing from their phone and encourage them to do it and you just get super low engagement when you're trying to push it on the customer to
Right.
facilitate the action. And you guys, you're solving that problem because you literally have the setup right there. You have the technology right there, and you have all the fun little overlays and interaction pieces and the boomerangs and the stuff that you'd want to see on these little these kind of, what do you call it, alternate reality, augmented reality kind of pieces, I guess is maybe the
Right.
terminology for it. And you're
Yeah, we
making
call them
brand
visual props.
advocates out of it, right? Go ahead.
Yeah.
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 Um, the other thing, so I could talk about this stuff all day, but I do want to
I
jump
know.
into some other topics with stuff because it's kind of the next piece of your technology. And another important piece of this puzzle for marketing is the value of owned lists. And we're talking about like SMS, email, and gaining contacts in those buckets, which isn't always easy. I mean, you might have a POS system that does this for you, but it's some
I
of
was
them
just
are
going to mention
clunky.
that.
You might
Yeah.
have a sign up form somewhere on in your tap room with a QR code or something, but like you got to get people to scan that QR code. You do this a little differently. So can you talk about how this works for you guys?
Yeah, yeah. And those are some of the things that I was going to say. One of the things that I think is really popular is scanning QR codes and or entering, and filling out a form on the website, which not that many people go to websites, let's be honest. The thing is, with taking pictures, and the only way that you can get it is to put in your email. People just do it. So we do have a manual opt out. I mean, obviously, legally, we have to follow federal compliance laws, so they can uncheck that. You don't get their information. Most people do not uncheck it, why we have people with hundreds of photos taken per day, and all of those are on the list. Um, what I find when I'm talking to tap rooms, restaurants, bars, is that the majority of them have email lists that go back years probably. Those emails are going to a spam filter or a promotions folder or something like that. Like you can't get around it. If you subscribe to something that you actually want to get, they're most likely going to go there. And I I don't barely ever check my promotions folder. And then when I do, I go, oh damn it, the sale has ended, because I didn't
Yeah.
check it right away. So the our system, for some reason, collects way more phone numbers. I think it's probably for ease of typing it in. It's way quicker, obviously. And phone numbers have, at least through our system, we have a 96% open rate or delivery rate. So they're getting read versus going into that folder.
Mhm.
You can actually disable email and only take phone numbers, which is great. But that list is downloadable. So if you are already sending campaigns through other software, you can absolutely download it and do that. But what's cool with our owned or your owned through BuzzyBooth is you can actually set up, automation. So it's not a chore to do a campaign and set something up. You can set something up once. That's an invitation to get them back, and it's automated for you, just firing off, let's say 30 minutes after they take the photo. I think we're probably going to go into this, but owning the list and being able to execute on it without having to really lift a finger except once is super powerful. But yeah, it's always yours to download if you want to bring it into any other software.
Yeah. And something I'll touch on here is, speaking from my own experiences, it's kind of challenging to get phone numbers to add. If you ask somebody for their phone number so that you can market to them, people don't want to
That
do
is
it. You're right.
Yes, yes. It's human nature. If you're asked by a cashier or a server to fill this out to join our loyalty program, or what's your phone number as they're doing something, like people's automatic reaction is no, because people don't like being sold to. So your friction is eliminated when it's an auto opt-in, and people are happy to give you their phone number. And sometimes they're happy to sign up for special offers or join your loyalty program when they're not being pressured to say no to a live person.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm glad you said that, because having things like loyalty programs and being able to be an auto join, um, or automatically send them the app download uh, is huge, because they didn't have to scan a QR code, or maybe the server forgot to mention it or something like that.
Mhm.
Now they're getting an invitation to their phone to download it or to join.
Yeah, that's a great point. Is that the way I do this at places, and like I don't want to sign up for it right now. I went outside of my house to get off of my phone and my technology in a lot of ways. I'm like, I don't want to jump on and deal with this. But like if I remembered later, I would totally do it. It's like, yeah, but I don't have that notification. That's a great nudge. Just, hey, download our app. Hey, join our loyalty program. Hey, don't forget about this. I wanted to ask you too, kind of down this road, is like, do you have some examples of some of these maybe automated or push campaigns that you guys have seen work for breweries, bars, restaurants?
Yeah. First of all, what you just said, right, set off a little bell that being prompted later is important for example, I guess our owner thought of everything during the development, or maybe it came down the road, but timing is everything for asking somebody for something. We're talking about places where people are drinking. So if you send them something while they're still there, potentially tipsy, they're probably not going to do it. So I will actually find uh, that if you change the delivery to the next day, it gets way higher engagement. That's things that, you play with
Really?
and you test. Oh yeah. I came across, now we do the reviews thing as well, which we can probably get into later, but um I found a nightclub, a very awesome nightclub, and I was shocked at the low amount of reviews they had. I mean, not low, but like shocking. And I saw that it was asking them for a review 2 hours after they took the photo. Well, imagine if they took the photo at 1:30 a.m. They
Yeah,
got a
they're
prompt to
asleep
leave a
or they're
review
having
while
a
they were,
weird night for sure. Yeah,
yeah. So we changed it to 12 hours later. So now that midnight becomes noon the next day, and they're way more likely uh, to engage.
they're awake.
Uh,
Maybe they've had some food. They're like, oh, yeah, that was a really fun night. Yeah, I'll leave the good review. That's a smart
right,
pickup for sure.
right, right.
Let's talk
Um,
about. Oh, actually, go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you if you had more to say.
oh no, I was just talking about, some examples of successful automation is specifically for tap rooms is they take a photo, and then they can either immediately in the photo delivery, or again it could be a timed follow-up, uh come in the next time you come in with a timestamp, and then come in the next 7 days, and your first pint is $1 or something like that. Uh, we have,
Nice.
I know this is totally off subject, but just like the power of it working and collecting those opt-ins is we have ortho offices that bring it to kids' school dances and little league, and they collect all of this information of potential patients, and they automate a discount for ortho if they come in for a free consultation within a certain time frame. So, and
Mm.
they work amazingly. So really, it's up to the brewery to come up with something that they think is worth sending out, not 50 cents off, something like
Yeah.
that. But automatically inviting them back is huge.
And you could make a database decision on this and looking at your own data and saying, all right, what's the time period between when most people come back? Is that 30 days? Is it 60 days? Do we want to try to reduce that time frame? Well, if it's 30 days, maybe we try to get a message out, in that, cut that in half, and then maybe those people
Right.
come in a day or two later, and now we're shortening
Yep.
that time back window. And over time, if you're tracking these things, you could really optimize towards a better position, because all of a sudden you
Hmm.
squeeze out an extra visit or two throughout the year from your repeat customers, and bam, now you've
100%.
generated more revenue, right?
That's exactly it. Turn those people coming 3 times a month to, once a week or twice a week. That extra one absolutely adds up.
And you guys, the way you do it is it's all like in the same platform, right? So like you're running email, text message natively within your guys'
Right.
marketing system, right?
Yep. Yep. And so there's of course a dashboard that you can log in and see everything. That's where you do everything.
Yeah, because I found that
Nothing from the kiosk. You don't have to stand in front of the kiosk and do things. It's all done remotely from
wouldn't
the
that be
computer.
crazy? You're just like standing over there getting all your marketing out. That'd
Oh,
be
I've
so
had
frustrating.
people assume that or ask that. It's like, no, no, no.
No, you do it from a dashboard. And I find that
Hmm.
has to be easier for people because when you have like multiple technologies, you got a different website opt-in system, you got an email marketing system, you got a text message marketing system. It's like, oh my gosh, all these things are
Yeah.
different. It's a pain in the butt. So having it all under one
Well,
roof is nice.
yeah, and as far as, POS capturing data, what is kind of cool about BuzzyBooth is it's not the person who's paying, it's the person who's taking the photo. So it might be one person that pays and three totally
Yeah.
different people that give you their information when they're taking photos. So it's always going to be more. And you know, one of the things that is typical with a POS is if you're sending out campaigns through them, there's a charge, right from the get-go. We will do one campaign a month to your most recent 1,000 users, which are the ones that really matter, for free. There's no charge. We also will create
Wow.
the artwork for free. So let's say uh, your mom and pop place that doesn't have a marketing person, you never have time to do stuff. don't know how to make campaign art, um, just put in a request. We'll make the campaign art. You give us the details. We'll send it off for free. It's just part of the subscription.
Y'all are really committed to helping out on the marketing side for real. And
Yeah.
if folks need it, you know who your customer is. It's people who are wearing multiple hats, don't have time for this stuff, and they're on a budget too, especially the craft beer world. It's like, man, the margins are tighter than they've ever been with rising costs and consumer pockets being a little bit thinner. So having
Yeah.
the ability to cut some of that cost down a little bit helps, I'm sure.
Hmm.
Another thing that helps, and I want to come to this, is reviews. Reviews are super important, and they are going to
My favorite
become
part.
even more important with AI search and showing up
Hmm.
for like local searches that people are using ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever for. So you need to be getting reviews. Soliciting reviews is a challenge, though. So maybe you can talk about that. Like, what is the importance, in your opinion, of reviews and why that matters,
Hmm.
and how can technology support this and BuzzyBooth as well?
Yeah. So as we were talking about earlier, QR codes are super popular for gaining reviews. There's a lot of what's called reputation management software out there that is able to weed out negative reviews from going to Google. It's super popular. We have that integrated with our system. The difference is that they don't have to scan a QR code. All they have to do is use the photo booth. And the people that use the photo booth are typically happy. Like if you're having a terrible time, you're probably not smiling for a photo. So what we find is that people are happy to leave a review. Sometimes they even mention the photo booth. I saw one last week that says this was my favorite part. Not typically, but we get a lot of positive reviews. And they are only invited to share publicly when they are positive. We only allow 4 to 5 stars. Otherwise, we're not gonna direct them to Google. Um, but people are typically super happy to do it. I'm not going to mention the name, but I have a mini golf place that has many locations. They put us in the one location to start, and we're now talking to them about a rollout. And in the first uh, 4 months, they had over 1,000 reviews left. I don't know how
Whoa,
busy this place is, but I mean, it's incredible. Um,
that is
and
incredible. Wow.
yeah, yeah, they're not even doing blast through us. They thought, they actually had a lot of negative reviews, which is why I'm not mentioning a name. They had a lot of negative reviews of being too busy and people waiting too much or, feeling rushed. Um, this allowed them to counteract the negative reviews with positive reviews that we were driving in very high volume. So
Wow.
sometimes you'll go on and they're tagged, so you can immediately identify the ones that came from BuzzyBooth on Google or TripAdvisor or Yelp. It's going to have a hashtag BuzzyBooth at the end. If anyone wants to talk to me or get more details, I'll show them how it works. But basically, I can go to some of my customers and I get excited about it, and I'll see in a row BuzzyBooth, 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 and they're getting more reviews from us than they're getting organically, and that feels so good. So,
Why do you
um,
think that is? Like, what was the difference between we didn't have Buzzy Booth and we were getting negative reviews, and now we added Buzzy Booth and we're getting positive reviews? I mean, aside from maybe the technology component of it, but like,
oh yeah.
do you have any thoughts on like why that was such a huge shift?
Yeah, because if you take, I think if you take out QR codes or any type of solicitation of review, typically people need to be wowed in order to leave a good review, and your middle, they have to be excited enough to take time out of their day to do it, but they have to think about it, right? The other ones are uh they're mad, but something went wrong, so they don't need a QR code to know. They just want to damage your business and go leave a bad review. They want to vent. So without Buzzy Booth prompting so many people, you're getting a lower volume of super happy people and a higher volume uh of negative people. So those people that were wowed, that's great. Like if I go and I see that they already have a 4.7 or a 4.8, that means that we're not going to affect their star rating. We're going to affect the volume because if that many people are already excited about your place, now you start asking for a review and automation via text and they were already happy. It's just the volume goes up
Mhm.
tremendously because it doesn't have to be an extreme. It's the middle of the road people that didn't think of it.
That was my assumption, was that, it's just the nudge to do it.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
obviously a really cool delivery on it as well, because it's all embedded in this like photo experience thing. And that speaks volumes. But like you said, people are way more motivated to go on and rant about something and do
Yep.
that than like, oh, I had a great experience and whatever. But if you nudge in that direction and give it a little reminder, just like with the social sharing thing we talked about, I'm the same way. I'm like, oh, that was a great meal or whatever. I'll review later, and then I always forget,
Yeah.
But the little nudge is a nice touch, and it helps. It sounds like it helps for sure, and you got the data to back it up.
Yeah, and also just you're going to get the reviews, all of the reviews in the BuzzyBooth software, so the negative ones will be there too.
Yeah, the
And you can
filtering's
set up,
great too, right? Yeah.
yeah, you can set up daily or weekly notifications of the bad ones. We don't have notifications of the good ones because there's so many, it would clog your inbox, to be honest. But yeah, so you can still reach out to the people. You're going to have their contact information automatically. You can see the date, you'll have their name, their phone number, or email, whatever they entered, and you can reach back out and correct it. The good news is it's not on Google that you're doing it.
And typically, I know because I've shopped this software and used it many times, different
Hmm.
softwares, is the review management market for SaaS. These are
Hmm.
expensive tools. Like I think Bird Eye is like the top dog out there that does this, and it's like a $300 a month thing just to have the
Just for
review
that.
management. And
Yeah,
you have that as just part of the mix here. Like that's fantastic, and all the other stuff. So
right.
that's an excellent add-on to add. I'm glad you guys have it, and a very useful tool for getting ahead of some of those, folks that just want to be heard, and
Yeah,
avoiding that negative review publicly, anyways, which is good.
right, right.
So let's maybe talk about data here for a bit. Imagine that looking at analytics on all this stuff is important for fueling decisions on it, whether it comes to when we send out messages, how often, what we put in those messages, how long it takes between certain messages. Can you talk to me about the importance of data in making these kind of
Hmm.
decisions, and then
Hmm.
what you guys provide from that perspective?
Yeah. So in the dashboard, everyone can log in and see some really important things. The number of media taken, the number of unique users. It is unique users, so if they use it 100 times, it only counts them once, whether it was the same day or years later. If they put in the same data, it doesn't save them
Do you
twice.
have people that come in and use it multiple times? Is that like a thing that are
Oh
like, oh
yeah,
man, they're
I
always on the
actually,
on the booth?
yeah, yeah. Even having things like these tagging and sharing incentives that might be encouraging them. I have a nightclub that does they once a month will draw a free door cover for a year, and they have a $15 door cover. So people want to take pictures and share them every time they come in so they can win that free door cover. Those are regulars that that they're getting to continually use the Buzzy booth. Um, but even things such as placement, some placement is everything. If people don't see it, they're not going to use it. So you can filter by um, time range. So you might say, okay, we're going to try it near the bathroom hallways for a month and see how many users we have. Then we're going to move it by the entrance exit. Then we're going to move it by the pool tables, and you can actually see where it's getting the most usage. That's really great for, those first few months, is finding out where it really works. You're also going to see the number of people who click to share from the photo delivery page,
Mhm.
which is super helpful to know how many people are sharing, whether they tag you or not. They click to share. Important to note, people can share anytime, so they don't have to share from that page. They've saved it to their phone. They might share it in 3 days, and they may already have Facebook open and they choose to share it. We can't track that. We don't know that they did that. So the shares in there are typically the minimum number of people who have shared. Um, but that's, you know, really important to know. And we also have a graph that you can change to see when it's being the most used. So you can look by day, by month, fluctuate. You can mouse over like, oh, this day we had 52 pictures taken, and this day we had 243 pictures taken, or whatever it is. So you can even work on, especially if you have theme nights or something like that, you can be like, oh, you know what? Look, this is working. We're getting a ton of photos every Friday for trivia night. Friday is
Mhm.
popular for trivia night. Um, so you can see when the usage is high and change things accordingly. Now, transparency, there's a ton of new laws surrounding texting. So we're not able to, I don't want to say able, we don't track opens for texts anymore, because what'll happen is we have all of these phone numbers that are have to comply with federal regulations. So
Yes.
um, if we track opens now, it'll pop up as potential spam. That's the last thing we want to do is have them reported as spam, right?
Hmm.
So there's less analytics in opens and things like that now, but that's why it's really important. I don't want to say everybody, but most establishments are going to have a POS where they can do a discount code or a coupon code. I always say if you have a deal that you're already blasting out on social media, or you have a signage in the bar that is saying what specials are coming up, if you blast it through BuzzyBooth, or if you have automation that says this is the deal when you come back, make it a separate coupon code. Put
Yes.
Buzz or Buzzy at the end or the beginning. Buzz 20 is 20% off or something, so that your POS can track the actual redemptions. All we can track is that we sent it out at this point. But the usage is really huge, like I said.
That is
No, I mean you
absolutely the way, man. We do the same thing. We're running online promos and email or whatever. And it's like, let's create a separate punch in the POS so that at the end of the month, we can say, okay, how many, we got this many opt ins on it. How many of those were redeemed? What was the dollar amount on those tickets where it was redeemed? And if you're
right.
thinking about investment of this system or whatever you're doing with marketing versus return, this is a nice way to look at it. Now, is it always perfect? Is everybody that sees this going to come in and use the QR or the coupon code? No, but
Right.
we at least have more visibility, way more visibility on actual real business metrics than we did before, which is a big deal. Can't understate it. It's a humongous deal to have that level of visibility.
Yeah, and everyone gets assigned an account manager too when they come on board, and we're looking for success. Like when we find success, we'll point it out to you. And if we find something that is not good, we'll point it out to you, i.e., you're sending them a review request at 2 in the morning. Like that's literally when it went out. So we
Yeah, you really want to
typically
piss
take
somebody off, wake them up at 2 o'clock in the morning and wait for their good review. Yeah, right.
exactly, exactly. No, but we as standard practice take a screenshot of Google reviews, the rating and the number of reviews that you have, and we check in quarterly. If we see that there's great success, we point it out. If we see that there's not, we see what we might be able to tweak, i.e., if the timing was bad, or sometimes we find that it's turned off, like ugh, you know. So
Did you know
yeah,
this was
it's
turned off? Oh, I didn't know that. Dang it.
right, but that's a way that, it's like everything is not going to be tied to revenue. How many people are now following you on social media is obviously a KPI. What your Google star rating has risen to in 6 months is obviously valuable because people shop when they're thinking of a new restaurant to go to. They go,
Hmm.
that has a 3.9, never mind.
Yep.
Um, so there's other ways to measure ROI than revenue, obviously.
Yeah. And just out of my own curiosity, does your system integrate with like other tools? Like if you got like a CRM or another email marketing system, or I don't know, Google Analytics, any of these kind of website analytics systems, is there connections between these systems? So you can
So
kind of
there
see the whole
can't there
picture.
there can be we are able to do like APIs with rewards programs and things like that.
Hmm.
Or if you
Okay.
have a receptacle, typically one or two location places are going to have this. But when we talk to places with dozens or hundreds of locations, they have somebody centralized managing reviews. And so we can dump uh, data and reviews into other systems. It's a process that we need to, go through on a case-to-case basis. But if you have a place that you want everything centrally located, we can do that. Typically with a loyalty program, they have like minimum information that they need to grab, i.e. name and email or name and phone number, and then they complete a registration with more information like birthdays and beers that you like, or whatever. So if that's the case, we can tie it in, and then your loyalty program can fire them off the rest of the registration process. Or
Got it.
we can just assume somebody wants it, without tying in and just send them the link to download the app right after they take a photo, you know?
Right, right. I mean, there's so many ways to make this back end stuff work. So let me ask you this question, and I know that you can't go into detail in every scenario, but I'm curious because let's say somebody's listening to this and like, okay, this thing sounds kind of cool. How does that actually work from a business perspective? Like, is there like a subscription you pay? Do you have to buy the tech, like the kiosk
Yeah,
tech thing? Like, how does this actually work?
sure. So, right now, we actually have a free kiosk promotion where the hardware is free. We have different options available, but it is subscription based. So it can run you as low as $70 a month. At the most, it's 200, well, the 199 a month, which is like $7 a day. Um, but we have different options, i.e., some places wanna put their logo and colors and things like that on the kiosk hardware itself. So there is a charge for that.
Mhm.
Um, my one of my favorites is actually we made the kiosk look like it was full of beer. So it was beer with foam on top. I don't know,
Oh wow.
is my hand disappearing in the
No,
background of
it
our
just
chat?
looks outlined, a kind of cartoon character-esque. You're good.
Right, right. Um, but yeah, it looked like a glass full of beer and it said free selfies, huge, you know. So there are options and things like
Cool.
that. But yeah, it's subscription based, $200 at the max. It's including everything that we talked about. The only thing you would ever pay for is if you wanted to blast more than 1,000 people or more than once a month. It's 10 cents each after that, which is a very standard, normal, competitive rate.
Yeah, for like
Uh,
SMS, yeah, it's pretty on par.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but that includes photos. I mean, we can MMS, which is with the photo. So, um, but just to be clear, like if we do any automated follow-ups, automated coupon delivery, there's never a charge, even if you have 1,000 photos taken that month.
Wow.
Uh, 2,000, it'll send them that coupon automatically, and there's never a charge.
I mean,
Uh,
by comparison, you start looking at other tech or SaaS companies out there that do this, and like to have that level of functionality, including automations, um, email blasts, SMS blasts, your subscription costs, they advertise like, oh yeah, for $20 a month. But when you stack in these extra pieces, you're up to 70, 100, it depends on how many contacts you have. You could be well over $100 a month just in that piece. And I
right,
kind of alluded to this earlier, is that especially with that review connection part where you're filtering reviews, you've got like a whole suite of things that you would normally pay separately for built into one. And that's just the back end tech of it. And the
yeah.
photo kiosk. I'm calling it a kiosk. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I actually when I first joined the company, I said to the owner, I think it's a little funny that you call it a booth. It's not a booth, you know. Booth are huge and clunky and take up a bunch of space, and you climb into it. So we're using kiosk more now, but the name is established. So
Buzzy Booth sounds better than Buzzy Kiosk.
it it does. It does. That's
Crazy
probably why.
kiosk. There you go.
But one thing I didn't touch on, which is actually huge, is even though there's no paywall, as we talked about before, like you don't, if you are charging for photos, it gets way less usage. Um,
Mhm.
but you can still monetize it if you do private events, you book birthday parties of, 30 people or whatever, and you want to offer it with customizations, i.e., you can use it for free, like you can use it for free like everyone else. If you want a custom frame and a private photo gallery, now it's going to be X amount of dollars. You decide. You can make it super, super cheap, like $50, or you can make it $100 or $200 if it's a corporate event. But typically, photo booths, if you Google photo booth rental near me, they're hundreds of dollars for a single night.
Oh
So
yeah.
you can be
If that shit,
competitive.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, you can be competitive and it can be a value add. It can be with a package. Um, or it can just be, here's your options. You can use it for free like everyone else. We have it. We'll move it over to your section or whatever for the night. But if you want these other perks, you want to see all the photos from the event, then it's going to cost you. Um, what
That's a
else
great
is
idea. It's like, yeah, we'll pull out all the photos and we'll send it to you after the event for your wedding reception, your corporate event, your birthday party, or whatever it is. We'll make sure you have all that. And yeah, value add. charge you how much you're paying for the subscription for that month. And now you just took care of your whole month in one experience
Yeah.
because it was an add-on. That was smart.
And if you really want to talk power, if you think about, and you should do you can do this with anything. It doesn't have to be through BuzzyBooth, but like if you think about the fact that if it's a corporate event or a birthday party and one person chose your bar to have the event, there could be a huge percentage of them that have never even been there before.
Good point.
So yeah, so now you really, that data is super important to invite them back. And so the date when you create an event, the data is also separate, the messaging is separate. So if you want to automatically fire off something like, hope you had fun at Kathy's birthday party, come back to ABC Brewery and get half off an appetizer with any beer, it's done for you automatically. And it's hyper customized to the event.
This sounds so
It's
cool. I'm like
it's my favorite
reinvigorated
product.
from my seeing this thing at CBC. I'm like, dang, man, I'm really happy we're doing this show, and we're going to share this with our audience and let them know about it because, man, it's a really cool thing. If somebody wants to get involved and reach out, like, do they contact you? They just go to the website. What's the best way to do this for them?
They can go to buzzybooth.com. We have forms that are on there. I can also provide some info that if you want to include it in the blog post or put it on screen, I'm happy to do that. Like I said, I head up sales, but we have a team that can take care of you, so it doesn't have to be me.
Great. Richard will take care of you, but he's got a team. We'll include links and some assets and things like that so you guys can see this in the show notes if you haven't looked already. Definitely check it out. Richard, dude, this has been amazing. I've taken so much of your time. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us. Is there anything else you want to share with our audience before we get you back to your busy day here?
Um, no, I thank you for having me. I'm sure you can tell that I get excited about my job. I have never loved selling anything anymore because like I said, it's a very easy to product to understand. So sorry if I rambled at all. I do get
No,
excited
you're
about
good, man.
because just because it works so well. So another thing is we're not pushy here at all. If you inquire with us, we're not going to hound you or try to sell to you. It's either a good fit or a bad fit. We can recognize a bad fit and we'll tell you, I don't know that this is the best fit for you. Maybe you're brand new and you don't have established traffic yet. We don't want you to pay $200 a month to have 6 photos taken a day. We'll tell you,
Nice.
so
That's nice that you added that, man, because so many people out there, they're just looking to close the deal right now to make the sale, and they don't care about the customer and their business and that kind of stuff. And I think that's sad that that doesn't happen. So thank you for
right.
being that way for sure.
You're
On
welcome.
behalf of everybody, thank you.
Right. Yeah.
Chill, man. Well, thanks again for being on the show,
You're
and for your
welcome.
insights. Again, check out the show notes for everything about Buzzy Booth, and we will catch you next time. Thanks, Richard.
Good. See ya.
See ya.